Big up, guys. Big up, guys. Welcome to the stream. Reaction to Bournemouth nil, Bees nil last night. Yeah, got to talk about this. I did obviously do one after the watch along yesterday, and thanks to everyone that watched that, contributed to that. The watch along yesterday was brilliant. Live chat. And the viewing figures well and truly up. Last I see, I was at about 140 views. So many thanks to everyone. Thank you very much for your watching, enjoying the stream, and watching it. That was brilliant. Thanks for your support yet again with all that. That was amazing. Yeah, really pushed the viewing figures up for that one, and they're still going up. Maybe I think they are. So that's great. Appreciate all that as usual. Subs have also gone up a little bit as well. I'm up to 219 now on the subs, guys. So looking good there as well. Keep them going up. Get me to that 250 mark and the milestone, 250 subs, and then keep that going up as well. Would love to get to 300 early this year. Would be a fantastic achievement to do that. I hope it won't take too long. But whatever happens, if it does take longer, it takes longer. I'm not gonna sort of want to sort of rush things. I'm happy with how it's going. And I'd never buy subs. I know there are people around and on YouTube that do buy subs, and a bit sort of fraudulent, if you like. I don't think it's right. It's lying. You're not putting in the hard work, and I hate to say that, but it's not everyone either. There are only certain people, I believe, that are doing it. Some are very honest, like myself, and just want to work and put the work out there and get subs that way and likes and whatever. I know I generally get on here late as well, and I always apologise, and I am a bit late slightly again today because I obviously put on here 2:30. Originally 3 o'clock, so actually if I stuck with the 3 o'clock, I'd actually be on time. So that's strange, isn't it? But still, I'm here. So I got on. I wanted to talk about this reaction. I wanted to talk about the game. As I said though as well, thanks. As I reiterate that, thanks to everyone that watched the watch along. It was great. As I say, got up to 140 views, maybe more. That's all going good. It's going brilliant. So hopefully that continues. I'm going to keep pushing this content out. If I'm late on or not, I will still keep it going, and just hope people will keep watching, as I'm sure they are, and they still are, and that's great. Either live or on playback. 219 subs, as I've already said. That's going well. Let's keep that going. As I said, many thanks to everyone that watched yesterday, was in the live chat. You all know you are. Many thanks to it for all that. Support as usual. It was good watching along. I was a little bit late on doing that, of course, again yesterday. And there were issues, I think, around half time when I couldn't obviously get the coverage. There was problems with my TNT because I'm obviously on the app thing. I haven't got it actual subscription live thing of it, so I've got it on the app, and sometimes it has issues. So that's why I was late getting back with the second half. Trying to sort all that out. It was no good coming back on because I weren't able to watch it, weren't able to get the coverage. So it'd be no good continuing the watch along, but I got back on with it and everything was fine. It was all good, and really enjoyed it. quite a bit to discuss, really, actually. I mean, I'm not just going to go on about this game, because it was a bit of a damp squib in the end. I thought it was a bit disappointing from us, especially. We weren't at our best. We come away with a point, 0-0. It's still a point. Still a point nearer to maybe European place. So in a way that's good. And we kept a clean sheet, especially after Saturday. But that against Burnley, that was disgraceful. Being 3-0 up and nearly still either drawing or losing the game. So that was not great. But at least we kept a clean sheet last night. That's something, a real positive. But then again, I think Bournemouth should have won the game. They hit the post, woodwork twice, post, I believe, twice. So had a goal disallowed. Seemed a better team, to be honest. Played a better football than us in a way. But we still come away with a draw. So that's still something at the end of the day. I tried to get Bournemouth fans on, up the Cherries. Unfortunately, they obviously couldn't make it, and they're still busy, obviously, today or something to come on, but I thought they would love to come on and say, oh, look, you didn't actually beat us this time. Try and rub it in a little bit that way. Oh, no, you didn't actually beat us, It was a 0-0. And as I say, they probably should have won it, but I'm glad in the way they didn't. But, I thought we should have played better than this. Getting 3 goals, 4 goals actually in the end. The other day, I thought we was really back on it up front and really going to fire. And but I think they dealt with us quite well, obviously defensively, and I think most of the time our defence was pretty solid. Most of the time, obviously, they did get through and had those chances. But I kind of think we done pretty well in the end, and to come away with that 0-0 is something, I guess, and so all good. But I'm going to go through. There's quite a few things I want to chat about, as I say, not just this, but I'm going to go through a few other sort of other websites, articles, other sort of ones talking about the game, because I generally just mainly go through the actual Brentford website one, for the match report and all that. So I want to see a point of view from other sort of other websites about it all. And obviously a thing, actually something involving Jordan Henderson regarding him last night as well. Because I know he actually wasn't happy when he came off. He wasn't happy being substituted. I actually thought he had a pretty good game. So I'm not surprised he was disappointed. But a lot of things kicked off with him and I think the Bournemouth bench and that as well last night. So I don't know what exactly happened there, but I'm going to look at these articles in a minute. The article and have a look. And there's a few other things I want to also discuss. So I will obviously get on with it. I just want to look at these comments. At Irish Pit Terrier, hope you're well, buddy. Thanks for coming in. As usual, the usual there, the emoticons, the bees, and the fist pump and happy emojis. Yeah, nice one. Cheers there at Irish Pit Terrier, as usual, coming in. Brilliant. And to you, Warren, buddy. Hope you're good, my friend. Hope you're all good. Yeah, hi, Steve. Hope you're okay. Yeah, cool, man. Cool, I'm fine. Yeah, very good. Warren, again, don't worry about time. It's not real. It's manufactured reality. Yeah, exactly. I shouldn't really, but I still always like to do that. I like to apologise, because most of the time I'm never really on early at all. I'm never really on time. I mean, the odd occasion I have been, but, I know I can do a lot better. I know there's certain things, but, when things get in the way, what can you do? You can't always get there on time. But anyway, let's get on with this, and let's get on with this. As I say, I'm going to get A few other sort of point of views from other websites regarding the game. And I'm going to start with this one. Right, here we go. So starting with this article. Bournemouth 0, Brentford 0. Iriola's side failed to convert dominance into victory. Getting sort of a Bournemouth kind of view here as well. Their POV. Brentford were somewhat unfortunate to escape the South Coast with a point. Exactly, we were fortunate, to be honest. With a point after seeing Bournemouth pass up numerous chances on Tuesday. Yeah. Bournemouth were left to rue a prolificate showing. I think that's the word, prolificate. Yeah, showing after Tuesday's 0-0 Premier League draw with Brentford at Vitality Stadium. And Andoni Iriola's side dominated the first half without reward, as James Hill and Ryan Christie went close to breaching the Brentford defence. The latter rounding Quiv and Kelleher but firing wide. Marcus Tavernier tested the reflexes of Kelleher in the opening period, though he could not have imagined the frustration that would follow in the second half. The Bournemouth midfielder struck the woodwork twice, but felt he should have had a penalty when Michael Chiodi appeared to clip his heels after the pair attacked Alex Jimenez's delightful low cross. I think it was maybe a little bit accidental. I didn't see that much contact from Chiodi on him, but might be minimal, slightest of touch. I don't know. I don't think it was enough for a penalty myself. And I'm not just being biased because I'm a Bees fan. It's no bias there at all. It just didn't seem enough contact to really be a penalty. And but he did. You probably would say he should score there. He hit the post. But yeah. But Georgi Petrovic still had to be alert at the other end. First denying Dango Matara's half volley before palming away. That was nothing great. I think it was into the ground and straight at him, really. Half volley before palming away when Sepp Vandenberg connected well with a downwards header. Yeah, that was probably our best chance, I would have said, that we had in the game. Evan Nielsen thought he had won it late on, but saw his well-taken strike ruled out for a clear offside. While Junior Krupi flicked narrowly wide at the bottom right corner in the closing stages. Yeah, it's very close. Thankfully, just past the post. And neither side were able to find a late winner as Bournemouth's unbeaten stretch extended to 9 games. And Brentford claimed a valuable point in their European bid. Data debrief, Cherries failed to down Bees again. Bournemouth have still never won in 8 attempts in the Premier League against Brentford. Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Drawn 3 and lost 5. With the Bees the only side that they have faced without yet winning in the competition. But it was a familiar story for Iriola's side, who have drawn more Premier League games than any other side this season, 13. Indeed, their 13 draws are their most in a single top-flight campaign. But Iriola may have felt Bournemouth should have won. Well, I think they should have won as well, myself. Given they accumulated 1.99 expected goals, well, it's XG bollocks again. To be honest, it's all a load of bollocks, a load of shit. To Brentford's 0.4. And while Keith Andrews may have been frustrated to not make it 6 wins in 7 away league games, Brentford may cherish this point come the end of the season. Exactly, we might just do that. Might just cherish that. So that's one sort of perspective. Let's go to this one. In the Sun, of course, this one. Yeah, this one was in the Sun. Buzzkill, Bournemouth nil, Brentford nil. Bees remain in driving seat for European spot after drab draw at Cherries. Bournemouth boss Andoni Iraola suffered more misery against his bogey club, Brentford. The Spaniard has failed to win one game against the Londoners in 7 attempts since he arrived in England. But his boys can only blame themselves having squandered a host of chances. The Bees left the South Coast buzzing, having survived with a point in their quest to gatecrash a European spot. At least Bournemouth's 13th league draw of the campaign increased their own slim Conference League dreams on the back of a 9-game unbeaten run. New dad Quiv and Keller, congrats to him, of course, being a new father. I think it's twins, apparently, yeah. His wife gave birth to twins. Was back in the Bees goal after missing Saturday's dramatic win at Burnley, attending the birth of his twins, a boy and a girl. So many congratulations to him and his wife or his partner. Not sure they're actually married. I don't know, but did it say his wife? No, I think it's just his partner. I don't think they're married, but congrats to her as well. And the Irish star was left stargazing under the full moon on 23 minutes when Marcus Tavernier curled his shot a yard wide of his left-hand post. The hosts should have taken the lead on 34 minutes, but centre-back James Hill somehow headed Tavernier's perfect cross over the bar from 6 yards. Then Ryan Christie had another goal chance when he faced a one-to-one change with Kelleher from Emma Nielsen's return pass. The Scotland midfielder should have shot, but instead tried to round the goalkeeper and ran the ball out. Those are the match stats there. Bournemouth nil, Brentford nil. Shots on target 2 each. Bournemouth 13 shots to Brentford's 5. Block shots 3-2 to Bournemouth. Sorry. Brentford had 52% possession to Bournemouth's 48. The Bees 435 passes to Bournemouth's 400. Completed passes 330 to the Bees, 310 for Bournemouth. Brentford 14 tackles to Bournemouth's 13. Fouls conceded 10-9 to the Bees. Corners can't quite. Hold on. Yeah, corners 4-3 to Bournemouth. Brentford's attack was non-existent. I think that's pretty much right, really. And Kevin Sharder, who netted a hat-trick in their 4-1 win over the Seasiders in December, was struggling to get a kick. He did look lively, though. I've got to admit, he looked pretty lively, quick, and trying to do things at least. Wasn't really his day, his game, but I think he was putting himself about. He was quick. So, yeah. I thought he was actually pretty good, but then again, I don't think he'd done enough, as they say, and our tackle round wasn't quite good enough this time, I don't think, to get anything. So, but he wasn't the only one, because former Cherry star Dango Watara and 18-goal Igor Thiago were also chasing shadows. Exactly, I agree as well. I totally agree with that. Right on half-time, Cherries suffered again when Scott slotted the perfect ball through to Tavs, but Kelleher once again stood his ground and saved at his near post. And Tavernier went close again right at the start of the second period when stretching through a cross. He touched the ball onto the far post. Brentford didn't look like a team that had been bounding up the table, won winning their last 5 games in a row on the road. Do agree with that as well. We didn't. We didn't, that's for sure. Bournemouth and their boss were desperate to make the breakthrough against their bogey club from London. Their last league win against the Bees was way back in August 2014. That long ago. I suppose I kind of remember it. When Iriola's assistant coach Tommy Elphick was playing. Tavernier was just having one of those nights when he couldn't get out of the way of Christie's goal-bound shot. The Bees were being run off their feet, which was seen when the exhausted veteran Liverpool ace Jordan Henderson was replaced just after the hour, and he wasn't happy. Could see that. He's well pissed off. Brentford fans had to wait 72 minutes to see their team's first shot on goal, but Ratara's effort bounced up into Georgi Petrovic's grateful arms. It wasn't a great shot, hit it into the ground. Terrible, really. It wasn't brilliant at all. Yes, Jordan Henderson was involved in a fiery encounter after Brentford's 0-0 draw with Bournemouth. Got another article all about that, which I will go into, obviously, we'll look at. The 35-year-old had to be hauled back by his teammates and beast up. He's actually 36, I believe, actually. Then 3 minutes later, Petrovic was forced to push away Sepp van den Berg's header from Matthias Jensen's free kick. But Tavernier was soon cursing his luck again when he hit the woodwork with yet another strike. A well-contested, clean contest ended in a shoving match at the final whistle. Well, here we go. This is about it here. Brentford boss Keith Andrews was involved in a scuffle in front of the players' tunnel. Iriola was seen trying to restore order as players and coaching staff pushed each other. The Spaniard said of the incident, "I am always a peacemaker, but I'm not sure how it started. It was Jordan Henderson and Coops. It was a strong argument, but nothing much really happened. Everyone is defending their interest. I don't know how it started, but there was no consequences. I was shaking hands with Keith and the fourth official, and something happened, but we stopped the confrontation early. But it was a big argument." Yeah, I wonder what it was about. Not totally sure, but yeah, I've got the other article about it anyway. Because obviously that was in the Current Bun. I've got this one that's in the Mirror. I think says a bit more about it, I believe. Right. Just read a few more comments. Brilliant. Brilliant. Steve is a Sun reader. Only joking, mate. Yeah. Well, I used to read it a bit. Not as much now. Don't really read the Current Bun as much now, mate. Yeah, be up to you, Luca. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're good. Oh, yeah. You're okay? Yeah, cool, mate. Cool. I watched some of the game was boring. That 2 points dropped. You did, yeah. Well, it wasn't brilliant, but we got a point. Got a point out of it, I suppose. That's something. Yeah. So anyway, Jordan Henderson in thick of ugly scenes as Bournemouth versus Brentford descends into chaos. Bournemouth and Brentford played out a 0-0 draw at the Vitality Stadium, but it was all action after the final whistle as both teams got into a scrap around the tunnel. Jordan Henderson was caught up in a huge melee following Brentford's 0-0 draw at Bournemouth. With little in the way of entertainment happening across the 90 minutes, it all kicked off at full time. Players, coaches and managers were involved as Henderson 35 had to be held back while arguing with one of Bournemouth's staff. The England international had played the first hour of the Premier League clash. The melee appeared to start with a disagreement between the both sets of coaching teams. Henderson walked down from the substitutes bench and got involved alongside teammate Ethan Pinnock. Soon enough, Brentford boss Keith Andrews got caught up in the scuffle. Andrews and his opposite number, Andoni Iraola, played peacemakers, as the chaos eventually turned into a shouting match before fizzling out. Post-match, Andrews said that he had no idea what caused the scrap. Iraola suggested that the disagreement was between Henderson and one of his coaches Sean Cooper. The game itself was less eventful, with the two sides generating a combined 2.49 expected goals. Bournemouth had more of the chances but forgot to bring their shooting boots, thankfully for us. But it's now 9 games unbeaten for the Cherries, who moved up to 9th place. For Brentford, the draw was a far cry on Saturday's thrilling 4-3 win at Burnley, but we could do without that again. That was heart attack time. 4-3, conceding 3. But yeah, we won it 4-3. It was a lot of goals. But we wanted to be a bit more better at the back, harder to break down at the back. We needed to be tougher and more stronger at the back. I think we were slightly, but not enough. At times they still got through and probably should have scored, really. But anyway, Henderson told TNT Sports, I thought it was a good game. Maybe both will be disappointed they didn't win the game. Overall, we felt comfortable, but they had decent chances. They hit the post and had a goal disallowed. I still felt we had our moments. So maybe a draw was a fair result in the end. The ex-Liverpool captain looked to be frustrated when he was substituted. He did look fucking pissed off. He really did. When he was substituted in the 62nd minute. Did I? That's normal, Henderson replied. Oh, right. We've learned from mistakes in the first half of the season. We're in a pretty good place at the moment. We just need to keep improving. For us, it's about staying humble and doing all the things we've done this season, which is working hard for each other. But also just playing with the confidence and freedom to try and win games. That was about it, by the looks of it. Yep. So that was that, about that. Melee at the end, kicking off a bit. Let's go to... let's just try this. Look at this article. Says a little bit, maybe slightly different on here. Something slightly different. Right, another comment there from Warren. Problem is the Cherries and their supporters can't accept being changed, as we know. Arrogant twats. Well, yeah, I would say some are, Warren, but there are actually some that are not so bad that I know on there. You can't say it's all of them. Unfortunately, I'm not going to totally defend Bournemouth because I did hate what they said about us going down. Thought we'd go down this season, where in fact we're above them. But I wouldn't say it's all of them that said that. And, it's just certain few that are maybe on YouTube that, like to go in front of the camera and try and think they're experts or whatever, pros, and know exactly what they're talking about. But yeah, I will admit some are. Some are. But anyway, let's go to this and see if there is anything different with this. European hopefuls Bournemouth and Brentford shared points after goalless stalemate. Bournemouth's wait for a first Premier League win over Brentford goes on after two European hopefuls shared a goalless draw at the Vitality Stadium. It is pretty much the same going through most of this. Yeah, I would say it's almost the same. Yeah, don't think there's that much else with that one. No, this one. Bournemouth announces creative Cherries rue wasteful finishing. While going 9 games unbeaten in the Premier League is an achievement not to be sniffed at, manager Andoni Iraola will see Bournemouth's goalless draw with Brentford as 2 points dropped rather than 1 point gained. Bournemouth have now drawn their last 3 games, all against sides around them in the table. Just one win would have boosted their fading hopes of playing European football next season. It's a point. It's very little seeing our performance and our needs. There are a lot of positives, but probably at this stage of the season, you need the points, Iraola told BBC Match of the Day. We are drawing a lot of games. Draws don't get you a lot. Yes, we got to 40, and that's a big positive in the end, looking at the big picture. But in this moment, after the game, we feel the frustration. The home side had no problem creating opportunities. They had 5 big chances as defined by Opta. Here we go again with the stats bollocks again, and produced an expected goals XG rating of 1.99. But the final touch was lacking. After an eventful opening 30 minutes, James Hill headed over from less than 10 yards out before Ryan Christie rounded Kelleher but ran out of pitch before he could finish. Tavernier curled an effort wide, but before he forced Kelleher into a smart save with his legs, with the game's first shot on target in first half injury time. Bournemouth looked like they would get their reward in the final moments when Krupi ran onto a cutback, but a slight deflection denied him a 9th league goal of the season and summed up his side's evening. Got the full match report, but as I say, we'll say mainly the same things. Yeah. Brentford analysis: Bees create little but show grit to continue away form. 4 days after scoring 3 goals in the opening 34 minutes of a remarkable 4-3 win over Burnley, Brentford were rather more pedestrian on the south coast. Exactly, they were. Unfortunately, Keith Andrews' side generated an XG rating of just 0.05 in the first half. They're lowest in the first half of a Premier League match this season. Despite enjoying marginally the greater share of possession, 51.9%, over 90 minutes, the Bees' attacking threat was limited to occasional counter-attacks. It took until the 72nd minute for them to muster a shot on target, but Dango Watara's strike was straight at Petrovic. Brentford pushed more in the closing stages, but Vandenberg's header from a free kick was the closest they came to scoring. But what Keith Andrews' side lacked in offensive spark, they made up for in commitment to hang in the match. Having lost 7 of their first 8 away league games this season, They have taken 16 points from the last 7 away games. They remain 4 points above Bournemouth and within touching distance of the Europa League places. What's next for these teams? Having been knocked out of the FA Cup, Bournemouth's next game is away to struggling Burnley on Saturday. 14th of March in the Premier League. Brentford face West Ham, of course, at London Stadium on Monday, 9th of March. We'll possibly be doing that again and watch along with that, maybe 7:30 for a place in the 6th round of the FA Cup. Yeah, we'll be possibly doing a watch along for that next Monday, guys. I would think, hopefully. I give player the match for Bournemouth's player Alex Jimenez. He was pretty good. I thought Alex Scott was great as well. I must admit, I rated him. He was brilliant in this game. Tavernier was decent. Ryan Christie was pretty good as well. Very good. I thought Evan Nielsen was decent as well. Pretty good. Krupi, not bad. Rayan, decent. I certainly thought they were probably the better team, definitely. But anyway, for us, Kelleher, got the most there, 7.00. Did keep a clean sheet. I mean, he made 1 or 2 good, 2 or 3 maybe, great saves. Damsgaard as well, up there, Coyote, Collins, Thiago. I mean, obviously Rico Henry unfortunately went off with a hamstring injury, I believe. I think pulled his hamstring maybe, so I don't know. Might not be available now for a little while, next few games. I did think Henderson played well. He was very disappointing to go off, as we all could see. Jensen was fairly good. Again, not too bad. He had a pretty decent game. I don't think anyone was outstanding. That was the problem here. I don't think anyone was exactly outstanding. Let's see. There's quite a few comments here. Rory here, just on the train back to London after the game. We got away with that tonight. Bournemouth missed a hatful of chances and were much better than us. Agrees with me then, really, what I was saying. Onwards and upwards, if that is possible. Horsey boy, just on replying to Rory there. Agreed. Watched it on TV, and we certainly got away with the penalty. Yeah, not so sure. I don't think it was much of a penalty anyway. I can't fathom the thinking. The suggestion that it wasn't enough of a touch is laughable. Well, I don't think it was. I don't think it was much of a touch, to be honest. As for the rest, well, the most important part of the game is taking your chances. Exactly. Stefano, well done, Brentford. Go getting a point away from home. To be fair, Bournemouth were closer to winning than Brentford, exactly. Let's hope the performance improves for the 5th round of the FA Cup. Come on, you bees, exactly, totally. Surprised your manager took Henderson off. He was having a great game. Yeah, exactly. B's not really at it tonight. So happy with the point. Bournemouth created better chances often after Brentford's loose passing in midfield. Weird how when it's a smaller team like Bournemouth, they don't even attempt to justify bad decisions, like the non-award of a penalty. Man United got a pen and a straight red for less on Sunday. It's almost like they want to help the big teams up and keep the small ones down or something. Yeah, that's possibly right. I'd possibly agree with that, but there you go. Amazes me, 2 clubs with combined stadiums can just about entertain 30,000 home supporters. on any given day, but have amassed 84 points between them, with another 18 league games left between them. Outstanding. Brentford missed a trick there. Could have been top dogs in West London, but now in the Premier League. Hopefully these superb bees will be top dogs by the end of the season. It would make Chelsea's model on how to run a football club look ridiculous. You don't need all the money in the world. Team spirit, along with a board that understands football, throwing a good manager in Keith Andrews, bingo. Well, I'm still not sure about the good manager in Keith Andrews' bit. Not really at the moment. Not totally sold on that. But the Chelsea model already looks ridiculous. No worry about that. Bournemouth unlucky, but good week for Brentford. Wasted chances by Christie, Tavernier, Krupi and Evan-Nielsen. When will the Cherries get clinical? Rayan should play in his natural position as a striker. Brentford are a bogey team, yeah. After tonight, I'm beginning to believe in the curse. Can't believe Bournemouth didn't win. Should have been 5-0. Come on, you bees, another point towards the European push. The game today, not the best game, and Christie should have buried that chance when he tried to take it round the keeper. Should have won, but wasteful, and we need to take shots. Kelleher took his time on the goal kicks as well. And can't say the ref was amazing either, but not many of them are. I mean, it was Craig Pawson, as I call him, very poor Pawson, as referee as well. Did he waste as much time as your defenders did pretending to have head injuries? Yeah, to break up attacking moves, exactly. It's time the PGMOL acted on feigned head injuries, yeah, and attached the penalty to fake claims. 3 minutes off the pitch for going down, clutching the head to break up the attacking play. It's simply cheating to pretend to have a head injury, knowing the referee's obliged to blow the whistle. And Bournemouth did this repeatedly tonight, every time Brentford were in the penalty area. Just disgusting to watch. Yeah, it's a great defensive tactic so long as soft touch referees keep letting it happen. Bournemouth are masters at it. Shocking decision against Bournemouth. Yeah, as someone else said on here, Man United get given more than generous decisions for less. This has always been the case with Man United, though, and smaller clubs get unfavourable decisions. Yeah, like to get rid of that ref. Yeah, Bees are on a mini slump after the 2 big away wins. 3 under par performances, but still 4 points. Hope the break helps them get their edge back. I do as well. I hope as well. Would have liked 433. 433. 433. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm head's gone at the moment. But hey, a point when not playing your best. I was going to say I'd like 433 points. Yeah, that we'd definitely be all right then. But hey, a point when not playing your best. Let's take it and move on. Yeah. I haven't seen it, and it may well have been a penalty, but so was the foul on Enzo Lefebvre on Saturday. Iriona commented that it would have been soft if it had been given. Quick restoration of karma. Yeah. I think it was a pen, but to be honest, very hard to spot. So no blame on ref. VAR should have spotted it though. Bournemouth carved out loads of chances, but didn't take them. That's where the game wasn't won. Still think he's a very good manager and a very good side. As home side, the momentum was with Bournemouth. Luckily, it's not you or Bees in the death zone. So it's kind of that will do then. P.S. The hope of Europe football, I appreciate for both sets of supporters, is a prize club achievement. is honestly weak if you end up in Conference League, which will deplete your squad resources and will certainly affect negatively your immediate Prem matches directly after a Thursday night Euro game. Better off fight the good fight to remain in the best, strongest league on the planet. Yeah, possibly, but I still think Europe's a great achievement. Still wouldn't mind that. Right, we're going to go to. I think I might go straight to do the player ratings now. I think we talked loads about the game anyway. Don't really need to go back into that. We'll say about the player lineups. Petrovic for Bournemouth. Petrovic, Jimenez, 4-2-3-1. Petrovic, Jimenez, Hill, Zanetti, Truffer, Adams, Scott, Rayan. Adley came on for him in the 74th. Christie, Krupi came on for him in the 74th. Tavernier, Evan Nielsen, Unel came on for him in the 80th. Subs, Mandas, Diakite, Brooks, Toff, Smith, Milicevic. I think for them, like I said, I think Scott was great, played really well. Alex Scott. Jimenez definitely was good. Hill, Rayan, Christie was good as well. Tavernier, Evan Nielsen, good players. I mean, you know, as much as I don't like the team, as you know, well, some of their fans, as you know, as well. In a way, I thought they were very good and were definitely the better team and probably should have won. But anyway, Brentford 4-3-3. Kelleher, Coyote, Collins, Vandenberg, Henry went off, of course, injured with a looks like a hamstring, pulled hamstring. Aya 20 came on for him in the 21st. Henderson, Yarmouliak came on for him in the 62nd. Jensen, Damsgaard, Sharda, Thiago, Ouattara, Lewis Potter came on for him in the 87th. Subs, Valdemarson, Pinnock, Donovan, Furo, Bent and Shield. Attendance 11,108 at the Vitality Stadium. Let's just go and say, Brett Andrews on the performance. Keith Andrews, Brentford head coach, shared his thoughts on the Bees' goals draw against Bournemouth at Vitality Stadium. I was pleased with a lot of aspects of our play, said Andrews. We revisited some of our basics without the ball after conceding 3 goals on Saturday, and I thought we did that really well. There was a real collective resilience without the ball, whether we were pressing high or defending our box. With the ball, we probably didn't hit the heights we have done, but that can happen, and the opposition obviously had their game plan to try and stop you. Enrico Henry, who was forced off through injury in the first half, Andrews added, it's a hamstring strain. His performances have been of such a high level, it was a shame we lost him so early in the game, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. Collins, Brentford grit secured us clean sheet and point. Brentford captain Nathan Collins discussed the grit he and his teammates showed to keep a clean sheet and secure a point on Tuesday night. That wasn't our best performance, admitted Collins, no shit. But this is a really tough place to come to. They have a really strong squad. The way they play is so aggressive. Their style of play, their press, their pacing behind. It's a tough game, so it's not the worst point. He added, we've always had that little bit of grit at Brentford. When it's not going our way, we can dig in, help each other and defend properly. We have goals and assists in this team. Unfortunately, tonight there wasn't. But a clean sheet helps us get something. Yeah, pretty much agree. Player ratings, Kelleher, kept clean sheet. New dad, of course. So congrats to him. That probably helps him even more, give him more confidence even. And a clean sheet and made some 2 or 3 good saves as well. I'm going to give him an 8 there for the clean sheet as well. So weren't a lot he could have done if they had scored. Of course, they had to post twice and the goal disallowed. Nothing he would have been able to do with them. So can't be blamed for that. So I'll give him an 8. Coyote was good at times. Sometimes he wasn't doing long throws, and I can't work that out in the second half. It was left to Jensen, who weren't getting the distance that Coyote generally does on the long throws. I wonder if he's still got that slight knock or something, slight injury. But most of the time, he was still very good, very quick, and got back well. I'll still give him a 7. I don't think he was quite at his best, but a 7. Collins, actually very good tonight. I made no mistakes. I thought one of his better games. Really good tonight. I'll give him an 8. Vandenberg was decent, I think, at the back as well. Had a good chance that was saved. I'll give him an 8 as well. Henry, I thought was actually really good until he got injured. Unfortunately, he got that strain. I'm going to give him an 8 as well, despite not finishing the game, of course. I came on for him in the 21st. Was okay. I don't think he was amazing. I'll give him a 7. Henderson, of course, went off. Young Elliott came on for him in the 62nd. But Henderson, I'll give him an 8. I thought he was pretty good, really good last night. It's really tough to give man of the match for this one as well, but I think it goes to more the defence this time. I don't think our midfield and attack was amazing. Yeah, Henderson, I'll still give him an 8 though. Young Elliott came on for him in the 62nd. Give him probably about a 6. 6. Jensen, a 7. Damsgaard 7, not quite as good as he was the other day with his play and whatever. So not as good, but I still give him a 7. I think I may give Kelleher man of the match. I'm going to give him man of the match, to be honest. I think it's between him and Collins, maybe. I'll give Kelleher man of the match, actually, with 8. Yeah, Damsgaard 7. Shard put himself about a bit, looked sharp, but didn't do enough. I'll give him a 6. Thiago, not enough, really. Didn't look like scoring a goal. I'm only going to give him about a 6, though. Watara, no, not good enough last night. But yeah, I'll give him a 6 as well. Nothing outstanding. Lewis Potter came on in the 87th, didn't do much really. 8, I'll give him a 5. Subs, Valdemarson, Pinnock, Donovan, Furo. Of course, none of them were used. Bent or Shield, none of them used. So yeah, man of the match, Kelleher. I'm giving him man of the match, 8. Let's move on and going to talk about other things now. Obviously, as I say, we've got West Ham next in the FA Cup. I will obviously do a preview for that towards the end of this week or at the weekend even, maybe. I want to talk about, obviously go into more about talk about Keith Andrews a bit more because obviously signing that new deal. I want to go through some other comments about that. So that's what I'm going to do now, guys. I might just have to go quickly. I need a comfort break, guys. So I'll just quickly do these comments. Warren again. Geez, good manager. Talk about waving a red flag to a ball. Yeah. Yeah, big up to you, Ryan. Big up, Mr. B. Ryan G. Thanks for coming in. Brilliant. Thank you. And but as I say, we'll talk about this. Going to a few comments here about when he obviously signed that new deal, Keith Andrews. I just had to quickly go to have a comfort break, guys. I won't be long. Be back very soon. Cheers. Yeah, sure about that, guys. I'm back. Right, I'm going to go into this. Obviously, as we know, this manager, Keith Andrews, has signed a new long-term contract. Rightly or wrongly, as I think you know my views on it, guys. But anyway, the Bees boss has penned a deal which extends his stay until the summer of 2032. So I'm going to go through a few comments here. What people have said. Brentford fans mainly, of course, about all this. Right, obviously doing a great job so far, and it makes sense for Brentford to tie him down. Don't know, though. Sorry, I'm still not sure. But how many managers on these 4+ year contracts ever make it to the end without getting the chop? Exactly, guys, exactly. There is that, isn't there? How many do? Not that many. It's a benefit for both sides to sign, make it long term. For Brentford, it makes it harder. He gets poached. For the manager, it's a safety net long term, more money if things go bad. Yeah. Yep. True. Yup, it's this. Neither of the parties here expect him to see out this deal. He'll either get fired before the end or get a bigger job offer. Pep is currently the only manager to be at a club for longer than 7 years, which is what it would take to see out this deal. Then there's Arteta, who's just over 6 years, and then we're down to just over 4 years with Marco Silva and Eddie Howe. Yep. Well, most last 2 years, however, we're increasingly seeing managers getting bought. So on the one hand, it makes sense to secure that bag. But on the other, it's a fickle game, and he could be sacked after a bad run of form. Yeah. Well, Thomas Frank did. If there's a club you can expect to see out a long contract with, it's Brentford. True. Only way he doesn't make it to 2032 is if another club comes in, would take something going catastrophically wrong for us to fire him. Would probably keep his job even if we went down. Brilliant, eh? The guy still has his job if we go down. Great, isn't it? Right, brilliant. Yeah. I don't like that one. I don't agree with that, to be honest. Nah, fuck that. I thought this guy wouldn't last till bonfire night. I was very wrong. Now with a massive contract, he will probably turn to shit. That's probably right. Yeah. I'm so excited to see how his career grows. He was the unexpected gem in a new role from all the changes last season. The surprise hit of the season, Brentford looks just as good or even better than last season after so many departures. Frank was holding them back. Really? Really? I'm not so sure about that. Don't know who's made that comment. R3 Gan. I don't know what it means. Regan. I think it's Regan. Looks like a United fan, possibly. Yeah, I think is he a Man U fan? I don't know. Regan. Don't know exactly, but anyway, looked like a Man United badge. I don't know, I could be wrong. Frank was holding them back. Well, I don't really agree with that. I really don't. He's proven everyone, including me, completely wrong. He should be a contender for manager of the season without a doubt. I wouldn't go as far as that, mate. No, I wouldn't go as far as that. Sorry. Can't doubt Brentford again after the way his appointment has gone so far. Laugh out loud. Even if it goes tits up under Andrews, they'll probably nail the replacement. Well, not totally sure about that. Will we promote from within or actually get a proper manager this time that's won things, achieved things? That would be what I'd want, really, ideally. But we probably won't go that route. Sorry, I'm turning American. I mean route, not route. Sorry about that, guys. Went a bit American there. Warren there again. If Frank was holding them back, how did Bees manage to get promoted? Exactly, Warren. 100%, bro. 100%, buddy. You've hit the nail on the fucking head, mate. Exactly. So what a load of bollocks that comment was, eh? I totally agree. You're fucking spot on there, my friend. Yeah, right. 2032. Was it what in the Chelsea youth signing is that about? Don't know what that means, but anyway. Really good job after a summer of change. Proved a lot of doubters wrong, including me. He's been in charge for less than a year. This contract has less than 1% to be on past summer 2028. Probably agree with that as well. Join some very special guests and step inside. What the hell? Fuck. No, that's nothing to do with it. Fucking promotion. Fuck off. Anyway. How much you reckon he's on? That's the thing. We still don't know. Still don't know how much he earns, what his bonus is. There's nothing about it to say what he's on. Who knows? Pardew vibes, yeah. So I'm going to go to the other. There's a lot of bollocks there. Some of it I agree with, but a lot of it I don't, unfortunately. So I'm going to go to the other Premier, see what the other Premier managers earn this year, and we'll see what, whether he's on. I wouldn't say he's on a par with them, but who knows? Looks like I've got something coming soon, guys. A delivery coming. So if I have to go very soon, I will be back. Obviously, I'll just have to go and sort that out. Of course. Yeah, Warren there. Again, some of these Bees fans sound like they will be demanding a statue, an open top bus tours for that jumped up set piece coach. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah, a few of them are. That's what it seems to be, mate. Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as that. I just want to see if he actually fucking achieves anything before, going so fucking over the top about him and saying how great he is. Let's see what he actually fucking achieves first. Because we haven't done nothing yet. All what we've achieved is staying in the Premier for 5 seasons. If this guy gets us probably top 10, say top 8, 7, whatever, and Europe, well, that's a fucking major achievement, isn't it? Surely. And then, he would have got this new contract off the back of that. Instead, we've given it him before he's even done anything or looked likely to do something, And now he's on fucking easy street and knows he's on a big deal, whatever, and he's got big money, he can fuck up, and it won't cost him. And I think that's totally wrong. I hate that. I really do. So, well, I might be the only one. There is a few others, not many, that are against all this. And most of the other Bees fans I know, all for him, are backing him and think the sun shines out his arse. And, and I get given a load of shit by these other fans that, I shouldn't have a different opinion. I shouldn't be wrong. You're not a proper Bees fan. You're not this or that. Because you got a different opinion to the rest of us. That I think because most of them are just happy to still be in the Premier, and there's more to it. You've got to try and achieve other things, not just stay in the fucking Premier. What's the point then? What's the point of being in the Premier if you don't want to achieve anything else? While you're there, it's just no. I think half of them are delusional and just, I don't know. I don't care if they disagree now and are not happy with what I'm saying here. I don't give a fuck because, you know, I know I could be right at the end of the day. And if I am right, you know, nobody would come and apologise and say, oh, you were right, you were spot on. Nobody would say that. And, you know, but I will secretly be laughing. And, you know, be saying, I told you so. I told you so after all this. So, if it all goes spectacularly wrong, I'm gonna fucking I'll be going. Oh yeah, well, did I not say any of that? Did I not say that it would that this would happen? Yeah, Warren is again there. I bet most of these clowns are about 11 years old. Yeah, yeah. They haven't been there. They haven't been there. You know, they've not long been born. They haven't been there in those hard times when we were down. You know, all the way down in the lower leagues, making our way up the leagues with financial issues as well. To get through all that shit and go to all different grounds around the lower league. You know, you went to various grounds that, you know, not many other big teams go to, giant clubs. You know, we've been down there. We've gone through all that week in, week out. Shit stadiums with shit weather, pitches, going through it all. You know, turning up week in, week out, standing. There's no seating. There was not much seating back then. Sitting down, all standing, and you know, you see all the other things that happened, all the things kicking off, a lot of fighting going on. You know, shit going on, fighting on the pitch. Not well, wouldn't happen much nowadays. And you know, other shit that you don't see. You know, it was all real. It was all like reality more than it is now. And you know, you should try being down there. You should try going through it one day, guys. You know, some of you big fans out there, these big giant clubs, the Arsenals, the Cities, the Uniteds, the even maybe Spurs. You don't know. You know, the big teams in the Premier. You should Chelsea. You should all try that one day. Try being down there and see what it's like when you have to come through all that. You're fighting week in, week out, and going through these, you know, places you've never been, these stadiums you've never been to in your life, and it takes a lot. You have to be really a diehard fan, and really, really, you know, proud and tough to keep going with it. You know, because it's your team, you will support them no matter where they are. They're down there, you support them, and you keep backing them. And I'm not so sure a lot of those big teams would do that. I think a lot of their fans would fuck off if they ever went down to lower leagues. They would fuck off. I think they wouldn't still keep supporting them because they're used to what they've got. They're used to it, used to all this big stuff and fucking all this money and big players and luxuries and everything. They're used to it. They're used to seeing it. And when they go down, get further down the leagues, they'll find out what it's really all about. So you know, it's a wake up call when you're further down the league. I tell you, it really is. But yeah, so let's get on to what these other managers earn. And you see that guy there on the slot, he's on rather a bit too much at the moment, seeing what happened yesterday. His Liverpool team losing to Wolves, bottom club Wolves, 2-1. Is he really earning his money at the moment? Is he worth, well, let's see what he's on, shall we? And the comment from Warren there, they wouldn't go on a 10-hour coach trip to Carlisle or a 7-hour one to Hartlepool. No, standing on an open terrace with the wind up north, up in the North Sea, pissing down and with rain and blowing the gale. What's that? ND minus 3 Celsius, whatever, Celsius. But yeah, well, 3 degrees, I suppose you could say. Diana Ross, yeah. No, she was. Sorry, I got that wrong. She wasn't 3 degrees, was she? She was with the Supremes, Diana Ross. Sorry about that, guys. Got that wrong. But yeah, 3 degrees. That were a band as well. Anyway, but yeah. So yeah, you're totally right. Totally spot on again, Warren. It was bad. It was bad, and you have to go through all that. Because you stick with your club, you're patriotic, and you stay with them, you back them, no matter what's happening. Yeah, so here is a comprehensive breakdown of Premier League manager salaries in 2026, highlighting the highest paid coaches in English football and how their earnings compare across the league. Managing clubs in the Premier League is one of the most pressure-heavy jobs in sport. Results can swing quickly, patience is limited, the financial stakes are enormous, and the club's reputation hangs in the balance. That pressure is reflected in pay, with Premier League manager salaries ranging from modest by elite standards to genuinely eye-watering. While clubs don't publish official wage data, the reported figures for 25-26 give a clear picture of how much top-flight managers earn, and while the gap between the highest and lowest paid coaches continues to grow. The highest paid Premier League managers in 2026. At the very top of the salary scale sits Pep Guardiola, of course, who earns a reported 20 million per year at Man City. Fucking hell. Excluding bonuses with performance incentives included. That figure rises even higher with them included. Guardiola is regarded as one of the best managers of all time, and his salary reflects that. He wouldn't have to work for a fucking, I don't know, rest of his life probably, with what he earns. Reflects that. City is paying to keep a manager who has delivered consistent results at the highest level. Behind him in the salary scale is Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. Oh dear, you don't want to hear about all this, Warren. Earning around 10 million per year. Fuck off. Following contract extensions tied to title changes and deep European runs. Yeah, okay. It's on a bit too much there, isn't he? Well, he shouldn't be there in the first place, let's be honest. Slightly further down, we've got Thomas Frank. Well, no longer at Tottenham, and Unai Emery at Aston Villa. Thomas was earning around 8 million per year, and of course Unai he's still earning that at Aston Villa. These salaries place each manager firmly among the elite tier, reflecting Champions League expectations and long-term trust from ownership. Upper mid-tier salaries. Hold on, guys, I've just got to go and sort this out. Be back soon. Sorry about it, guys. Major apologies again. I had to sort that my shopping delivery come. Yeah, those salary figures are wrong. Arteta is on 20 million a year. It's still way too much, isn't it? Let's be fucking honest. How's he on that much for a fucking twat like him, a fraudulent prick like him, eh? Don't make any sense. There is the link if anyone does want to hop on. I'm only going to be on here a little bit longer. I just want to talk about this and something to do with the B squad team as well. About we may be selling some players in the summer. I don't know how if we're going to get any in, maybe. But I know we're supposed to be talk of selling a few of our players. But anyway, there is the link there. If anyone wants to come on and discuss anything before I go. As I say, it's just this one. Yeah, upper mid tier salaries. What was I? Where was I before? Trying to think. Oh yeah, these salaries place each manager firmly among the elite tier, it reflecting Champions League expectations and long-term trust from ownership. Yeah, so upper mid-tier salaries, just below that level, are managers earning between 5 million and 7 million per year. This bracket represents clubs paying for reliability rather than consistent title contention. Arne Slot earns around 6.6 million. Maybe he might earn more. Well, we know this could be wrong. Having taken, yeah, but does he deserve it at the moment? The way it's going, you know, they are really poor this season. Liverpool, they just lost to Wolves last night, 2-1. They are in the shit street. They are really poor, pathetic. They are looking bad. On Arne Slot probably should go. I think anything it shows. Jurgen Klopp was the best manager they had. I mean, he won it with his team last season. And this just shows maybe he isn't that great, Arne Slot. Having taken on one of the most demanding jobs in the league, yes, Eddie Howe sits at 6 million with Newcastle United, reflecting Champions League qualification and long-term project building. And David Moyes earns 5 million at Everton. A salary shaped by experience, stability, and the need to manage difficult transitions. Mid-table and rebuilding clubs. Managers in the middle of the Premier League salary range typically earn 4 to 4.5 million per year. These salaries reflect clubs aiming for stability, development, and incremental progress rather than immediate silverware. This group includes Marco Silva at Fulham, Oliver Glasner at Crystal Palace, Liam Rossini at Chelsea, and Nuno Espirito Santo at West Ham United. The lower end of Premier League manager salaries at the bottom of the scale are managers earning between 1.3 million and 2.5 million per year. Often all newly promoted clubs or sides operating with tighter budgets. Examples include Keith Andrews at Brentford, 1.3 million. Well, it's more than that now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's up to 2 million something, probably 3, I don't know. He's probably gone on a fair bit now. You know, even that 1.3 million was a lot. And what's he actually achieved yet? Nothing. Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth, 1.5 million. Again, he's not really achieved a lot exactly at Bournemouth yet. They've not exactly got anything yet either. Scott Parker at Burnley were 1.6 million, and they're going to go down. Or you would think, even if, I can't see them getting out. There's no way they're not going to be safe. That I think they're down. Daniel Farker at Leeds United, well, 2 million. So even they're in trouble a little bit, Leeds, but I think they'll stay up somehow. I really think they'll stay up. These roles often come with shorter contracts rather than long-term guarantees. Yeah. Although, well, as we know, Keith Andrews has got a longer-term contract, longer-term guarantee. I don't know why, but there we go. Why Premier League manager salaries vary so much. The gap in Premier League manager salaries is driven by three main factors: expectation, risk, and the replacement cost. Elite clubs pay heavily to minimise uncertainty. Relegation-threatened clubs limit exposure. Managers with recent success and strong reputations command higher wages because losing them is expensive. Bonuses also play a major role in league position. European qualification and trophies can add millions to a contract, especially at the top end. What manager value looks like in 2026? Premier League managers are no longer judged purely on results. They are expected to manage squads, budgets, media pressure, and long-term strategy. Those who succeed across all areas become extremely valuable. Their salaries reflect not just what they do on the pitch, but the stability they provide behind the scenes. Premier League managers' salaries in 2026 reflect the league's financial power and unforgiving nature. Some managers earn sums that rival star players. Others work under immense pressure for far less. The difference usually comes down to trust, track record, and what failure would cost the club. Yeah, so there we go. Big up to you, Rich, as well. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're well, buddy. I obviously was on yours a bit earlier, your stream, in the live chat. That was very good, interesting. Obviously, you were with those, I think you said you'd done it last night, recorded it yesterday or whatever, with a Newcastle fan. Was there a Newcastle and were they both Newcastle fans? I know one obviously was. I was on there, but yeah, that was quite interesting. Quite obviously the preview for the game. Obviously that's tonight, isn't it? Yeah. Your match with Newcastle. So yeah. But yeah, it's quite interesting reading all that about the managers, what they earn. And if Warren's on about that, he's right with that. Well, obviously he is. He should know. But Arteta's on 20 million. That's takes a piss, really, doesn't it? For somebody that hasn't won much, hasn't won anything, really. One FA Cup and 2 dinner plates. You know, that's nothing, is it? So he's on 20 million for doing that. Might just win a Premier this season. Might. That's still a might. Possible, not confirmed that he will win it, is it? But anyway, let's move on, and I just want to talk about this other subject as well. Finally, last subject I want to go into, and that's about the Bees maybe selling 5 players in the summer. If this is to be believed, this is from EPL Index. This has been on some other websites as well. If we can totally believe any of this, I mean, yeah, we don't know whether to at the moment. I'm not sure, but there's always talk about a lot of our players leaving, so it's not a real shock. Yeah, Brentford summer transfer plans take shape as European push continues. Brentford have long thrived on clarity of thinking in a Premier League environment driven by short-term reactions and extravagant spending. The West London club continue to operate with deliberate calm. Their current position, 7th in the table and chasing European football, reflects a structure that prioritises planning over noise. According to iNews, Brentford's summer transfer strategy will continue that philosophy. Rather than dramatic recruitment drives, the focus appears to be refinement, youth development, and a willingness to reshape the squad where necessary. Andrews' leadership driving Brentford's stability. The extension of Keith Andrews until 2032 signals Brentford's confidence in their direction. The decision to appoint the former set-piece coach earlier in the 25-26 campaign raised eyebrows externally. Yet within the club, it represented continuity. As iNews notes, employing the former set-piece coach at the beginning of 2025-26 to replace Thomas Frank was viewed as speculative, but only from the casual observer. Andrews inherited a system designed around a central attacking presence, and that structure continues to evolve around Igor Thiago. Just trying to get rid of that fucking advert, keeps coming up. They have essentially built a 4-5-1 system with Igor Thiago as the focal point. The striker has repaid Brentford's patience emphatically. Passes long and short to the £30 million striker who has delivered 17 goals this season, well, I think it's 18 actually now, are bearing fruit. For a player who endured an injury setback shortly after arriving, the return has been remarkable. The Brazilian's response to the Bees' faith in him after a season-long injury occurred after his arrival in 2024 pre-season friendly is remarkable. Tactical tweaks strengthen Brentford squad management. Andrews' approach has included subtle adjustments to player management. Where Brentford's previous regime demanded relentless intensity, the new coaching staff appear to prioritise long-term fitness and careful workload management. The report explains that Andrews has adopted a pragmatic stance when rotating players. Unlike Frank, Andrews appears more pragmatic in managing players, game time, and he's very aligned with all his backroom staff in this, his first head coach post. That makes it sound like he's a bit better than Frank, and I'm not totally sure he is. I still think Thomas Frank was ahead of him. I'm sorry, I do. You can say what he's doing here, I don't know. Yeah, imagine game time. Yeah, sure, fair enough. But I don't know. At times I still don't see it, because that's supposed to, how does that work out on the pitch, what he's doing with some of his decisions and lineups and whatever? No, I don't agree with that. Managing physical demands has been particularly important for key players such as Mikael Damsgaard, Vitaly Janelt and Rico Henry. Yeah, I guess you've got to admit, if they're not totally fit, they've had injuries, maybe that's why Damsgaard hasn't played enough. Maybe he hasn't been totally fit. That's possible. Something you could say, I know Vitaly Janelt did have an injury. He had foot surgery, I believe, and seemed to recover. Came back and is now obviously out again. Rico Henry, the same. He had obviously long-term injury. Came back well and has played a lot this season, and now, of course, gone off with another hamstring strain, I think it was. So, niggly injuries to key players are evaporating within Andrews' culture. That approach contrasts with previous seasons where several players were required to push through physical discomfort. Christian Norgard was another who played through a pain barrier before leaving for Arsenal last summer. The result has been a healthier squad and a team able to sustain its league position. And I suppose when you don't have a massive squad, that does help. We haven't got a massive squad. So that has pretty much, in a way, it has helped. So I guess, fair dues to the guy, Brentford transfer strategy focuses on continuity. I do suggest Brentford's summer business will centre on internal development rather than headline signings. One of the first decisions will involve recalling young left back Jaden Meg-Homer, from his loan spell at Rangers there, Warren. We're going to bring him back from there. He's doing pretty well at Rangers by all accounts, so that might make you happier, because obviously Rangers are doing well now, above you at the moment in second. So, he's doing really well, Jane McHomer. But, Andrews will recall left back Jane McHomer currently on loan at Rangers as a potential successor to Henry. Well, if he's doing well, which I know he is, I know it's only Scotland, but he's doing quite well there. And that might help him. He's got a lot more game time. I think he could be a good one for us. It could be a good, possible long-term replacement to Henry, maybe. I don't know. We don't know how much. Henry's still got a few, at least about 3 or 4, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seasons in him yet, I'd say. Still not even 30 yet, Rico Henry. So, he's still got a long way to go just yet at the moment. The club's recruitment model continues to prioritise emerging talent, with strong expectations surrounding midfield prospects Anthony Malambo and Ramel Donovan. And of course, unfortunately, Malambo's out ACL. He won't play any part the rest of the season. Ramel Donovan has played a few. He's come on lately, and he looks very good. I must admit, I rate him. Good young player. Like to see more what he can do, but at the moment he's looking good, looking fairly good. However, departures may reshape the squad. The report suggests that several players could move on. The recycling may continue with a possible exit for Fabio Carvalho. Well, I'm not really surprised. He hasn't done enough. He's had injuries. So, for me, he does need to go. He's only done things occasionally. Of course, famously got that equaliser against Chelsea in injury time to get us a 2-2 draw. When I think we were pretty much, we were winning that at one stage. We was at home, of course. This was last year, early on in this season. We were 2-1 up against Chelsea. Sorry, 1-0 up. Then they were 2-1 up. And then, of course, Carvalho got the late equaliser in injury time. Spectacularly, of course. So, one of his rare high points of the season. Of course, a winner, I think, in the Carabao Cup as well for us. Scoring as well there. So, he's done okay at times, but he's not been amazing. No way. So, I think it's time for him to go. I really do. It's a shame. He has got, I know there is talent there. There is ability there somewhere, but unfortunately he hasn't shown it enough, and he's got that injury as well. So, not been good. I'm afraid he may have to go. Other potential departures include, we know Kevin Charter, still been mentioned, been talked about. It may happen. I don't know. I would be disappointed because I think there is more to come from him. I know there is more from Kevin Charter. Still inconsistent, got pace to burn, great in the air. I mean, he might thrive at a better team, probably a bigger club. Probably he would do better. But I'd still like to see what he can produce here a bit more, a bit longer. Ethan Pinnock probably is coming towards the end of his, spell here. I mean, I think he's 30, 31, maybe 32 now. He's getting on a little bit. He's been here a long while. He's been a great servant for us, great defender. I think he's been really good. He may be moving on. Matthias Jensen, yeah, I think he's had a really good season here, actually, this season. I think he's had probably one of his better seasons. I mean, he has been very good at times before over these last few years, but probably his best season this season, maybe since like 2 or 3 seasons ago. I think he was really good as well. He's a good player though, rate him, but he may be on his way. And Christopher Ayer, the thing is, right, he signed up on a new long-term deal. Christopher Ayer, he's not always been great. There's been times where he's looked pretty poor, but at times also he's been outstanding. But if you sign him up to a new deal, why is he going to go already? That doesn't really make sense, but it wouldn't surprise me. Recruitment decisions already made appear to be paying dividends. Brentford's £20 million investment in Sepp van den Berg. I'm still not sure about him. I'm still not totally sold. He's done better at times. He's got better, I think, maybe, lately. Yeah, but Sepp van den Berg from Liverpool last season is viewed internally as long-term planning. So he may get even better. He may get a lot better. So I guess we have to give him time. We do. I'm still wasn't totally sold on him, but we'll see. Meanwhile, Dango Ouattara is expected to provide further attacking support alongside Thiago. That we already know is happening. I don't think he wasn't great against his old team last night, so you can't go on that. But he's still had a good season, been very good in his first season for us. He's played very well. I think he's got about 5 or 6 goals. So he's had a fairly good start to his career here. So there's a lot further for him to go. I think he will do even better and maybe a lot more prolific with Thiago. You never know. The broader picture remains consistent with Brentford's identity. The club may not predict every outcome in the transfer market, yet their processes ensure they rarely drift away from a stable trajectory. As the report concludes, Brentford remain in a strong position. European qualification may still be uncertain, but their long-term direction appears increasingly secure. Our view, EPL index analysis. Many Brentford fans remember the early scepticism when Keith Andrews replaced Thomas Frank. The appointment looked unconventional from the outside, yet supporters who understood the club's internal structure recognised the logic. Brentford rarely acts impulsively, and Andrews already knew the club's culture, data models and recruitment philosophy. The continued development of Igor Thiago has also been hugely encouraging. Replacing the influence of previous stars like Ivan Toney and Ollie Watkins was always going to be difficult. Yet Thiago's 17-goal return shows Brentford remain capable of identifying the right attacking profiles. Supporters would also appreciate the emphasis on squad management. Injuries have disrupted Brentford seasons in the past, so the focus on player fitness and rotation under Andrews feels significant. Possible departures such as Fabio Carvalho or Christopher Ayer would not necessarily alarm fans either. Brentford have built their reputation on evolving the squad intelligently while maintaining performance levels. If the club continues combining smart recruitment, youth development and tactical stability, supporters will believe that European qualification is a realistic ambition rather than an unlikely dream. Well, there we go. I mean, pretty much agree with most of that. I'm still not totally sold with Andrews. I think I'm still not sure with that, but if there is a logic there, if there's a process we're going through with him, maybe it's correct. Maybe we are doing the right thing. But all I know is I want to see. I want to see at the end of this season where it's going. I'm still not totally sold on it. And some of those players, I think, yeah, probably are surplus to requirement, maybe. But I'd still like to see us grow the squad more, get a bigger squad. I mean, if we are going to get Europe, we will need that. You know, we are definitely going to need that. So for me, we've got to improve the squad. We have got to get recruitment, you know, get players in. So, yeah, a lot of that makes sense, I guess. But let's see. Let's see what happens. You know, the season isn't finished. We still have to try and secure a European spot. That's still not confirmed or guaranteed as such. And especially with this 0-0, I'm still not totally sure. We just didn't see enough again last night. It was, you know, a bit blunt going forward. Not, you know, what we got 3 goals the other day. Yes, our defence was poor. At times we looked terrible, and Burnley got, you know, 3 goals. We got 4, of course, but I don't want to see that all the time. You know, it's heart attack time with all that, and I just want to see us close out games, be ruthless, play some good football still. I mean, at times we have done. I think under Frank, I think we played a bit more better, entertaining than we have this season at times. But yes, we are 7th in the Premier. You've got to say, well, maybe a bit of kudos to Frank, to Andrews for that, and to the club getting him in. I mean, yeah, it's still a long way to go for me, though. I just still don't. I'm not totally sure with this guy, and he could prove me wrong. And you know, I'll hold my hands up if he does. I will. I will say I'm totally wrong. I'm out of order. I got it wrong. If he produces things, if he achieves things here, I'm still not convinced. I'm still not convinced. But, you know, you never know. You never know. We'll see where we are at the end of the season. Yeah. So we'll evaluate how we are, what we are at the end of the season, and see on that. And I will go from that. If he's got us into Europe, you know, in, say top 5, 6, whatever, 7, because actually we're only a point behind Chelsea. So really, we could still get 6th, 5th, maybe. The thing is, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. You know, with certain results lately where we've been struggling, it's, you know, if you do this against the really, really big sides, that's it. We're done. If you do this against the likes of City, Arsenal, even Chelsea, maybe. Well, you know, the really, really, really good teams are ruthless. Even United now, maybe. If you do this against them, you're not going to get this. You're not going to come away with anything like a point. Or thankfully, Bournemouth were also blunt in front of the goal last night. Didn't have their shooting boots on. Thankfully, I think they would have beat us if they hit the post twice. They had a goal disallowed. They were much better. Had more chances, more clear cut. We made at least maybe a couple with that clear cut chances, sort of, and that wasn't enough. And you know, we only deserved maybe that point, I guess. Probably not really, not even that. But at the end of the day, we sort of earned it. We got our defence was okay. It was better than the other day, better than against Burnley. Because if we'd done that again here, well, I think Bournemouth would have beaten us totally here. Would have totally walloped us, I think. But you know, in a way, I've got to be happy with that. It may be a difference at the end of the day, a point that might just work out. Next in the Premier, of course, is Wolves, and they picked up. We know what they've done. They beat Liverpool, of course, 2-1. They could now get past Burnley even and get. They're not going to stay up. Let's be honest, but they could now get third or second from bottom. You know, they're still going down, but you know, they could envelop, you know, Burnley now. They could, because they picked up under Edwards. He's done a magnificent job there at Wolves. So it's about time, because every other manager they got hasn't lasted and not got them there. And that Vitor Pereira was another one. Started off well, but ended up a bit of a disaster, didn't he? So he's took them to where they are, I think, now. And Warren there again with another comment. Sometimes it is good to ground out a positive result. Yeah, pretty much. I think you're right, Warren. Yeah, you're right. Spot on there, buddy. Yeah, definitely. But we take that. We take the point. And we're moving on. As I say, Wolves next in the Premier after West Ham. So we sort of put some importance to the West Ham game, of course. That's the FA Cup. And it would be good to get through in that, have a great cup run, why not? But obviously, our bread and butter is the league. And we want to see if we can get that European spot at the same time. So, yeah, we kind of got the Wolves game on one eye on that and one eye on the West Ham game. So we will see. You know, Wolves improving a hell of a lot. Brilliant now. You know, they could easily catch Burnley now. Claw them in and get above them. So that's not a guaranteed win there. That's not going. I mean, obviously at the GTEC, we're at the GTEC for that one. So we should win, you would say. I kept saying that though with games here that we should have won, like Forest, Brighton. No, it didn't happen. We were at the GTEC. We still lost. I wasn't happy about that, and you know, so. How can you know that Wolves have beaten the bigger teams? They've beaten Liverpool now 2-1. They drew with Arsenal. Got a point there. I thought they should have done better at that first one against Arsenal, because in the end they scored all 3 goals. It was own goals and got Arsenal to win, to be honest. So, you know, they've done well. Done well in a lot of games recently. They've really picked up. Edwards is doing amazingly there. They're obviously still going to go down. That's what it looks like. But obviously not as bad as Derby and whatever. They overtook their poor results in the Premier of when they were relegated at the bottom or whatever. So they've overtaken that. They're not quite officially the worst team. And they're looking now to reel in Burnley, of course. So you never know, really. You never know. That could happen. But anyway, guys, I'm going to bounce pretty much because nobody's coming on here. I did put the link in there, but if nobody's coming on, I will just bounce. Get something to eat as well in a minute. I am Hank Marvin, to be honest. So, yeah. So, obviously we move on. I've got the next one, which would be the preview for the West Ham game. I don't know when that'll be. It'll be sometime this week, obviously, I guess, or the weekend. May try and get a West Ham fan. I will look around if I can find one that want to come on. That will be the next one. I'm still trying to maybe do a buzz one as well. I'm not sure what that'll be yet. Still planning on doing maybe a cricket one at the buzz. Obviously, England playing tomorrow, that semi-final to get into the final, hopefully, of the T20 World Cup. But I was thinking about, especially if they do lose or whatever, even if they win it, I still want to discuss about the roles of the England coach and so forth. See if they're still doing right by keeping him there. I mean, he's improved. He's got better, I guess, with this T20 World Cup. If we win this, I mean, I know some people don't like it, don't like T20. I think it's like baseball, Warren? But, yeah, I mean, it's, if we do win it, I mean, do we keep McCallum on? Is he still, has he turned things around? Do we believe in him now? And do we forget what happened with the Ashes? I don't think we can. That was a total disaster. And he was part of that. And of course, the up above him were part of it as well, Rob Key and the other lot above him, all to do with it, ECB. So, yeah, I'm not sure you can totally forget all that. Just because he may win the T20 World Cup. You don't know. It's still not guaranteed. We've got India, so I don't know. Good luck with that one. I mean, that's going to be really tough. In their own country, India, don't forget, we're playing them. So, have we got much chance? I'm not totally sure. Even if we get to the final, we may get probably New Zealand or South Africa. South Africa have been fucking amazing. They've been best team in that tournament, to be honest. New Zealand are a good team as well. We all know that as well. Okay, we beat them. But, yeah, it's still going to be tough. Warren again there. Do you think the outcome of the Ashes series would be any different if it was starting tomorrow? Don't know, Warren. I mean, he has got a bit better. He has sort of got into something, I don't know. The thing is now is it's too little too late because the Ashes are gone. And, while he sort of progressed and got a bit better and started sorting things out, it is too little too late. I mean, that preparation was disgraceful for the Ashes. It was absolutely disgraceful. And McCullum doesn't come out of that well. Too good at all. And it's not just him; it's some of the others, even the captain Stokes, and I mean, you look at some of the others as well. The other players fucked up and didn't do well enough. There was obviously, we all know, there's a drinking culture a bit there as well, and things were fucked. It was fucked totally. That preparation, they could have gone to prepare, do a practice game or something, ready for the pink ball day-night game. They didn't do that, and it proved to be a massive mistake, as we know. And, they just done a lot of bad things, a lot of dumb things. The thinking was poor. They may have got better now, progressed more and sorted things out better, more thinking, more sort of planning now with what's going on with this World Cup and stuff. But I don't know, it's still up in the air for me. I think it would be worse because England would be facing the first 11 rather than reserves. Of course, yeah, true. I guess that's true. The thing is, though, the Aussies crashed out of this World Cup. They were poor. So really, you can say we're actually doing better than the Aussies at the moment, and they have been absolutely terrible in that World Cup. So I don't know, mate. It just, I mean, they were still. I never underestimated them. I never said just because they were lacking all their best players, the likes of Hazelwood, Cummings, whatever else, Lyon, or whatever else. At one stage that they would still be easy to beat. There'd still be, a walkover. There'd be like underdogs and absolutely shit. Because I knew they wouldn't. I still knew they'd be a great team, still be a very good team. And they've always got that attitude, never say die. They'd always still fight. They will always want to win by fair means or foul. And they still had a lot of great players still playing. They still had Smith, they had Stark. Look what Stark done. Annihilated England with his bowling. That's, and his batting even. His batting was great as well. Don't forget. Mitchell Stark. And you had, of course, Head. He destroyed England, Travis Head as well. Labuschagne. Who else could you say they had? We had, Lyon at times when he was playing the spinner. He was fantastic, as we know. Who was the other guy? They had some others come in. I'm trying to think of the bowlers. But there's some really good ones, still great players, and I still think I never thought they were going to be really terrible, and it proved to be. They still had everything more than England to beat them. So Warren again. It would be 5-0 definitely, and a few innings defeats too. Definitely. Same old Aussies, always cheating, eh, Steve? Yeah, but they always do it, mate. They don't care. They don't give a fuck, do they? They don't want to play it the right way. They don't care as long as they win, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's winning. So, as far as I'm concerned, they'll always still be better than us, and yeah. Unfortunately, until things are sorted out, higher up, ECB in the board, in the whatever else there, the people up there up the top, and the selectors and so forth, and the coaching. Well, I don't think it will get any better. I think it'd be the same old shit. It'd be Groundhog Day. We'll never win any of that. We'll never win the Ashes again or anything like that. So, even if we do win this T20 World Cup, I'm still not totally certain. I'm not sold on the way it is at the moment. So, that's why I probably will do a buzz about it. I will sort of go into all that. Talk about Michael Vaughan. He should be coming in to have a role there. There should be a lot of others doing it, coming in. Jonathan Trott, I think, will be great again. Ex-player for England, of course. Great with Afghanistan as their coach. Love to see him come in. A lot of the others, Tuffers, Beefy, all should have a role there. Alistair Cook, definitely as well. There should be plenty coming in, having their say, Boyks, whatever. You know, they need to sort that out, and I hope they do. I hope we do, but I don't think we will. I think it's going to stay that same shit until I don't know. Let's see. Anyway, I will do a buzz about that. We'll do a stream on that one. Hopefully you'll be able to join me, Warren, when I actually do it. Would be great, mate. To have your say. Yeah, Warren again, but definitely not that clown Manny. That would that would be a disaster. Yeah, fucking would it? Yeah, fucking zippy, mate. Yeah, he can fuck off. But yeah, I didn't think we was going to be talking about him again, to be honest. But there we go. It always seems to get in somehow, doesn't he, into the conversation? Really, I don't know why, but there we go. Thankfully, he's not around on here anymore, and he never will be on this channel. So, anyway, guys, I am definitely going to go. I'm going to bounce, and please follow me on Insta at Mr. B for Life 182. Subscribe to Mr. B Hyper Football Chat, and keep smashing those likes. Keep subbing if you're new. As I say, up to 219 now. Brilliant with the subs. Views are going well. Got about 140 or more now on that watch along for the views yesterday. So, got plenty more content coming out. Please keep watching, guys. Please keep doing what you're doing. You know, supporting me is always good. And hopefully onwards and upwards with this channel. So, thanks a lot, guys. I'm going to bounce. Come on, the Bees. We've got to come back. We've got to keep winning. We've got FA Cup now. Let's do something there and in the Premier. And I'm going to go, guys. I'm out of here. Cheers, everyone. Thanks, guys. Bye. Cheers.